Welcome to Zenterno Radio, where we drop truth gems all along the way. This is C-Zenz or Chris with Zenterno Radio, and today's podcast or episode is going to be about basically breaking the matrix, coming out of it, and I'm going to reference like RFK Jr., who is Robert Kennedy Jr., nephew of John F. Kennedy, President of the United States in 1963, I believe. And we're going to just kind of break some stuff down. So let's just get into it. I was watching one of his shows or podcasts where he visited the Amish. And the main thing that like really stuck out to me is it's the hindsight or the idea, the concept after that comes to me is that we have to break the beast system, and the beast system is actually the satanic system, which has been like completely engulfed the world in its supposed quote unquote civilization of the way the world works, and which is I'll break down again three components, which is the medical industry, the agricultural industry, and the education industry. And then I also asked my mother, and she's like, oh, the finances too, you could throw that in there too. But I want to kind of stick with the first three. Those three is really how the evil ones have a grip on the world. And until we can break that yoke and see that is the problem, and we have to come back to Mother Nature, we have to come back to the earth itself, we have to come back to the natural existence. When our ancestors used to live this way, connected to nature, without question, that was the way of life. There was no such thing as a medical industry. There was no such thing as an agricultural industry. There was no such thing as even education. All these things were passed down from our forebears, our foreparents. They taught us wisdom. They taught us their knowledge. They taught us the way to be in harmony with this place as we're living and going through this place, because all our ancestors knew that we're here for a time and then we go to the next, It don't have to look that far. You go back, look at the Egyptian, and I'm not saying that they're great peoples, but if we look at the ancient Egyptians, they understood that this place was transitory, that this place you lived here, but you had to prepare for the next life. And that's what they lived that way. It was the whole thing was for the next life. And we in this modern age, then you got a lot of wicked ones that say, oh, you just go back to the dirt. And these are the evil ones. They don't believe in anything. They don't believe in anything. They have no vision. They have no spirit. They're satanic. And that's why they kill freely in all the industries. So let's jump in. So RFK Jr. with Children's Health Defense. Please look him up. Please look up the Children's Health Defense. Support them because they're doing some great work. It doesn't take much to be a hero. It's just about standing up. When we can stand up to the tyranny, when we can stand up to the nonsense, when we can call these people out on their BS, when we can finally open our eyes and see, well, we've been programmed, okay? That's when we become a hero. So RFK Robert stated that, and I'm trying to hopefully I'm getting the numbers correct, the years, but from 1989 to 2003, vaccines were using trace amounts of mercury in the vaccinations. So from the pertussis, the diphtheria, the tetanus, and all these type of shots, etc., they were using trace amounts of mercury. Okay. Then in 2003, they replaced the mercury with aluminum or aluminium, and this switch created the allergic cases shot up drastically, right? And I can actually testify in my own life, in my own experience. Since I was born in 1991, and I had those earlier vaccines. So I'll probably, again, those three I mentioned, and hepatitis, stuff like that, back in 91. So I'd have maybe some of the mercury. And I remember even having a reaction after to like country air or whatever was in the countryside. There's something about it that I had a terrible reaction. Again, that could be caused, again, from some of the vaccines that I had prior at that time. However, something that I want to point out here, it has to do with cats. And when I was younger, I had a friend and my mother's friend, and we visited them. They used to have cats, and I'm talking about when I was a child. So this is under 10, and I remember though I never had a problem with cats, right? House cats, etc. Never. There's no problem. No allergic. Nothing. Whatever. Then after 2003, so they're saying after 2003, aluminum was introduced into these vaccines, and that aluminum with a type of protein, if it's a milk protein or a certain other protein in combination, whatever they're putting into this vaccine, creates allergic responses. And ever since that time, I have had an allergic reaction to cat hair and cats. So when RFK brought this knowledge, that blew me. I'm like, whoa. And that's making me go back in my history of my life. And I'm seeing that this makes a lot of sense. Because how was I at one point not allergic to cats? And all of a sudden, at another point in history, I'm allergic. And he's dropping this knowledge right here that this is what happened with these vaccines, right, in the past. So that blew me wide open and just making me realize, wow, this stuff is the devil. We should not even be vaccinating in the first place. We're supposed to allow our bodies to go through the trouble. If we can't conquer it, let nature have its way, right? Why we'll have to vaccinate it? We don't need the medical industry. It's nothing but tyranny. And a lot of people have lost their lives because of this. It's not even, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Natural way is better than listening to these doctors and these pharmaceutical companies, okay? Makes no sense. This is why then you got doctors, they want to prescribe you with medications. And then people I have to rely to get through my day. I have to take this. It doesn't make any sense. And then I see people smoking weed and I realize why they're smoking weed. Smoking weed is because they're at least trying to break free of the matrix. They're coming back to nature. But that's in of itself destruction because you're not supposed to smoke and put smoke into your lungs. But the reason that's why they're smoking weed because they're trying to connect back to nature. Dude, we have to deny doctors, dentists, learn how to treat your own teeth. I went through this, my own tooth issue. I had some terrible pain. I had 2 teeth that cracked and I had horrendous pain. Okay? Because it was wide open, the nerve is there, etc. I went through some crazy time. Nobody's there to help me. I had to go through it myself. That took months. And then I fixed it and I filled my own teeth. I never go to a dentist. I don't see a doctor now. I don't need these people. What we need is the Most High. What we need is righteousness. What we need is a vision to say the way civilizations, these cities, come out of the cities, come out of Babylon, my people. The Most High is speaking. Look at our ancestors. Look at all the natives who lived off the land, clean, by themselves, not having to need a doctor to tell them how to do something, this is how you have to live. And we used to look up to these doctors like gods, because I did when I was a child. The next thing under God was my doctor. I listened to, okay, everything you say, yeah. That's a lie. When they're just there to fill up another prescription, or they're just there to tell you another lie to keep you in the dark and not set you free. They don't want the cure because that puts them out of the job. And then, this is how the world works. That's how the devil works. Praise be to the Most High. I have a quote here I want to say, and it's all connected to this. So, we all know what we have done, but did we know what we were doing? It's a quite profound statement. We all know what we have done, but did we know what we were doing? We followed the doctors. We go to the doctor's office. We trust them. They're better than us. They've studied. They know better. So we trust them. But why trust them when you don't even do the research? You have to research yourself. What's in these vaccines? Why did they do this? Why did vaccines even come about? Because in the 1800s and prior, they didn't have such things. This is an introduction in the 1900s, the 20th century. And we are suffering right now because of the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds who set up these systems, the agricultural system to spray the crops. Now we're eating the sprayed foods. Now we're taking their medications. This is why we're fucked. No pun intended. No Vaseline. You understand? This is the world we're living in. We have to come out and break the bondage. This is the truth. So the challenge is to step up and truly know and lead by example what we are doing, what we will become, and where we are going. Please ask these questions and follow suit. Stop being a puppet. Stop being a follower. The world doesn't need any more followers. The world needs leaders. And we need leaders that are leading in truth, righteousness, not satanic practices. Freedom, truth, righteousness, love, compassion, building up the next man, helping each other. Stop tearing down your brothers and sisters on this planet. Stop falling victim to the narrative of the mainstream media on the radios, the televisions, the internet, the mainstream sources. If it's CBC in Canada, if it's CNN, Fox News in America, MSNBC, all that stuff. If it's Al Jazeera, if it's BBC, I don't give a damn what it is. Stop following the mainstream. RT, whatever. I don't care about these people. I don't care about none of their shit. The truth shall set us free. And this is the way of life. The Most High has taught his people righteously. And only the people that are going to hear what I'm saying are going to live right. And they're going to make it to the kingdom. They're going to be just fine. It's not about the ones that ignore what we're saying, that don't see this, that have cognitive dissonance. Because I've talked to somebody like this. I've spoken, and then you see them shaking. They're shaking like they're having a seizure because they can't. It's cognitive dissonance. It doesn't go into their brain. They don't get it. I'm telling you the truth. We need to do better as souls on this planet, on this place. Period. All right, now I'm just going to kind of switch topics here, and I'm going to jump to, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, which is, of course, the COVID-19. Let's just jump into it a little bit. And I'm going to shout out to Dr. David Martin. If anybody, also, again, that's another name. Look him up. Smart guy, intelligent, right? Somebody who does the research, presents the evidence, speaks the truth. You can decide what is the truth. The evidence is right in front of our faces. In regards to COVID-19, many patents have existed prior to 2019 that describe the coronavirus. Nothing is new. Recipe from SARS 2003. The organism referring to CoV-2 is a synthetic artificial sequence. Equals man-made sequence, not natural. Computer sequence equals the vaccine. The lipid fat particle is the carrier or envelope that contains the sequence that delivers the DNA-changing sequence to the cell. So Canada, and this is terrible because I live in this stupid country. So again, not the good people, but the evil governments of this country. Canada has 2 patents for the fat or the lipid carrier. So Canada is guilty. The Canadian scientists. And now I'm going to quote what these people, the mainstream, the Illuminati, the wicked ones, what they have said. This is what they said when they wanted to do all this shit that's happened, the chaos, the hysteria. Listen to this. We need the public to accept a pan-coronavirus vaccine. What does it say here? Countermeasure mandate. And they needed the media to create the hype, and investors would follow where they see profit. So this is the statement of the perpetrators. Absolutely. And I'll just read this here. I will state this, that COVID-19, at least in the 21st century, was the biggest fraud, lie, deception, misinformation campaign ever to exist in maybe in all history. Such global deception. It was unreal to live through and slightly funny, only for us who could see the truth as we stand in the light. Now that's just the truth. That's just the truth. So I'm going to leave it at that. I don't really do these things as much. I pretty much left YouTube. I'm literally not going to be doing YouTube, just for people to understand. YouTube disrespected me. They blocked one of my videos in, I guess, 2020. And because I spoke about the vaccine, but that's what happens. You speak about these things and then they deem you as a terrorist, right? So then they block you or whatever. So So because of that, I don't really deal with YouTube. I put other things on YouTube, but you can still subscribe to Zen Turner Music on YouTube. And anytime there's truth, like this was necessary. I really need people to break the yoke. I need people to break the matrix, come out of the Rockefeller, the Rothschilds, the Bill Gates, the Faucis. These people come out of their systems. Actually, one other thing about Fauci, RFK stated that in 1940, the chronic disease percentage in America, in the United States, was 6%, I believe. And by the time it went to 1986, something around there, he said it was about almost double. It was about 11 something percent of chronic disease. And then fast forwarding to 2006, when the last study they did, it was over 50 something percent chronic disease in that nation. So they designed this because Fauci came into power in his field in the 60s, and they've been doing this and creating this for a long time. This is nothing new. And again, everything that we're suffering now in the world too, not just America, Canada, everywhere, Asia, Africa, everywhere, we're suffering because of the prior century and the mandates and the laws and everything that has been set up. That's why we suffer. Again, how do you break the yoke? Well, you break the yoke by not believing in them, by denying them, by creating your own world. It doesn't mean you're trapped. It means you create your own world. You get out of their systems, right? When they're forcing your students they have to be vaccinated to participate, take them out the damn schools, right? Don't shop. You need a vaccine to shop with us. You need a mask on. Fuck you. Don't support these people. Go support somebody who is free. This is the truth, and this is what we need to be doing. Period. So I'm going to end it here. This is Zenturno Radio. Please, again, you can support us on zenturnomusic.com. Come through, drop us a line. Music's there. You can buy, you can enjoy, whatever you want to do. You want to support through social. So then if it's YouTube, Zenturno Music, check us out. If it's Facebook, Zenturno Music. If it's Twitter, I'm on there at C-Zenz, which is C-Zenz on Twitter. What else? I guess Instagram is C-Zenzogram. It's a little more complicated. C_ZENZOGRAM. So C-Zenzogram. That's on Instagram. And just support the real. Support the truth. And let's, at the end, we are going to win. It's evident. We know that. You have to be strong in this time. You need to be a leader. We don't need no more followers. And, enough is enough. And stop just entertaining yourself. And stop just, there's a time for that. When you're a teenager, maybe that's all you want is to entertain. But you can't just entertain yourself. You have to get out and do things. You have to change the world. You have to change your world. You have to be better. You have to work out. Get outside. Get some fresh air. Get some sunlight. Work out. I love to play basketball. I'll be dribbling, do my thing. But you don't see me posting I'm out here, guys. These people are fake on social. Just live your life. Do the best you can do. This is Zenturno Radio, Zenturno Music. We'll catch you on the next episode. Please subscribe, like, whatever you want to do, share it. I don't know how this stuff really works, but yeah, you can share the podcast. And we'll see you on the next episode. Peace and shalom. All praise to the Most High. Peace and shalom.